and start selling them the hats, the shirts, the whole nine. We recording right now. This is Ebony White's first session, first class session. So let's just go through it and see. We can tell you some of our experiences, and Darrell, in addition, can tell you how both of us how it's impacted us, or how would that look. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're actually talking to the client.
Okay.
Um, so of course, though, identify the client's highest natural score, which I'll probably pull up one of those, but we're gonna look at, from the DISC, which one is the highest, right? Look out for the largest gap or change in between natural and adaptive. Um, Anything that drops 10 or less than 10 is kind of like, okay, that's not too much to speak to. That person is pretty solid as far as wherever they at, as far as what they level. Now, this is just pertaining to the disc, because the
Right.
values don't have an adaptive. It's just the underneath raw you
Okay.
that you're motivated by. So when you see that disc and you see anything over 10, 10 is something to speak to, definitely, because that's a drop. It's a significant drop. They go from 90 to 80 in adaptive, and it's like, okay, what's causing you to not be your authentic self? And that's what we want, people to be authentic, no matter the circumstances, no matter the situation. You don't want somebody to walk into a room and all of a sudden it changes your whole demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sad, because now you won't be you because of this person. And who's stressed out? You, not them. They walking through happy, fine, and free, and you like, ugh, I can't stand. You all happy talking to your people, then you just change.
Right.
That's what we're speaking to, and then trying to figure out why is what we'll have the questions, that we'll be asking them. So then now we move on to, once they've taken the assessment, however you've engaged them at a party, family, social media, you posting so much, people reaching out to you, um, on the job, at the restaurant, at the coffee shop. However, passing your cards, that you putting yourself out there. Once you've done that, you received your an assessment from them. You go to page 18. First, you're going to see, like I said, identify the power, the gap. Go to page 18, and we'll do that. I'll run through some ones as we're going, because this won't let me share two things at once.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, we'll run to page 18 for a complete understanding of how to best communicate with the client. Page 19, gain knowledge on how the client will best receive new information. Whatever level or whatever degree of the disc that person is. Page 18 and page 19 tells you how this person likes to be spoken to, how they like to receive knowledge, as well as how they like to gather knowledge. A high D may not necessarily be interested in the backstory, as far as how the disc was created, what its purposes are. They may be like, okay, just, look, I'm trying to make money, or I'm trying to get to the promised land. I don't need to know all the details inside the ship, how it works, why it fly. Just do it fly. That's all I want to know. Am I right, Ebony?
That's why I'm laughing.
She's a high D, direct. Her D is high, but then she has a nice high I, so she's very much a leader and wanting to get there. So it was a challenge to a certain degree. It's like, okay, you got to slow down a little bit and let's get these things together, what you want to do, and then let's move forward. And it'll be a whole lot more comfortable as you going forward. So once you've done that, and you got to feel that for the client. So if you already know, there's more information I got to give you, Ebony. If you already know, excuse me, know some of the traits and tendencies of that D or that I, or S or C, that's what's going to help you better communicate with them. And there's some more studying behind this person that kind of generalizes it. And it's kind of scary because it's like, it really pegs a person.
Mm.
Like, and some people are tripping, like, how does this thing know me to this degree? And then when I start speaking to them, as well as when you start speaking to them and speaking to these things that are their tendencies and how they move about and how they might be even thinking about situations, they look at you like, who in the heck is you? How do you know this stuff? And I'm like, I just learned how to read it, but you told me everything about you in the pages, which is the
Mm.
stuff that you don't know, that client doesn't know that you know. Once you see it, it's like it's eye opening. I think Darrell can attest to that. The first time we talked, or when I put him on to being the student, he was like, "Man, that's how you know." You remember
I
that,
thought,
Darrell?
yeah, I had it on mute, but I thought Antoine was a wizard or something. I'm like, man, how do you know me so well? And then once he started opening my eyes to it, I'm like, oh,
Right.
that's how.
Yeah. It's like, and that's what's so crazy, from every S to every C, every dot, every D, every I. Speaking like this to them, they like, how do you know this? Like, they think, and if the Holy Spirit, speaks to you, or you already in tune vibrationally wise, and God is talking to you, that person's energy and yours, they're gonna start revealing things to you. I ain't trying to talk all, but certain vibes is just gonna come off, and you gonna connect and say other things that blow them away. It's just gonna blow them away. How you doing, Rochelle? Maybe she's still connecting. This is my other student, colleague at work as well. She probably still connecting.
Your stuff is over there.
Good morning, Rochelle.
You've been busy while I've been gone.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, good morning.
Things keep going in and out.
It did.
Can y'all hear
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can't hear y'all.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, pump up the volume.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you. I hear you. Can y'all hear her?
Yeah, I can hear.
We hear
there.
you, Rochelle. She just said she must can't hear us. Okay, we gonna keep it going. Well, I want Rochelle to. Rochelle, you okay? You might need some new headphones. I hear static.
Yeah, start mine.
They're not you.
It,
Is that every time you move is when I hear the static? That's probably why you can't hear us.
okay. Now I can hear you clear, so let me set it down and not touch it no more. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. We've
Okay.
been hearing you the whole time. It just was kind of faint because of the static
Okay.
in the headphones. I think like there's a
Hi,
shortage.
Ebony.
Hey, Rochelle.
Okay, look at this. Oh, I'm so proud and happy.
Oh, Lord.
Wait a minute. Can y'all see me?
No, we can't see you.
Oh, that might be a good thing, though, but
Whatever. No, we finna get. There we
yeah,
go.
There you go.
Yeah, we want everybody
wait a
to
minute.
know and
Stop.
be familiar. Come on, Darrell. Just stay that
Okay.
wig.
That's it.
Nobody in here shy. Ain't no bashful.
Gotcha.
This is practice. Your clients gotta see you. Class gotta see you. We want to know who we interacted with, since we can't be all in the same room. Well, good morning again, Rochelle. I'm gonna introduce you to everybody. Of course, you already know Ebony down below you. Well, I don't know how y'all setup is. This is Darrell. You hear me okay, Rochelle?
You going in and out.
Really?
No,
Okay.
I got you.
All
I
right.
set you up.
And then we got Mr. Darrell, newly married. I had the pleasure of being at his wedding, watching him go down the aisle, and the
You see me?
tears was flowing. Yeah, we see you good, bro.
Oh,
Uh, he just got married like last week.
Oh wow.
No,
yes.
two,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Did y'all get to do a honeymoon?
Yeah, we got married the 22nd of August, and then we did our honeymoon right after that.
Oh,
We
okay.
went to Indianapolis
Oh,
that Monday. Stayed there for a week.
okay.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Congratulations.
it's a tremendous blessing. Yeah, him and his bride walked down the aisle. I was like, man, you invited the coach to the wedding, just had me on cloud 10, bro. I was like, man, felt so
Man,
good to be a part of that. It was a beautiful wedding, social distancing, but I think he had the most intimate of people being there to celebrate it with him. Well, Rochelle, what I was doing, I have not. I don't think I emailed this to you yet. The
Nope.
Okay. Well, I will. I'm gonna send it to you. But this is the I guess how would I put it? This is how you
Guideline.
what you say, Ebony?
A guideline.
Oh, thank you. This is basically, yeah, the guideline of how you would talk to the client. These are the procedures. That's what it said. It's the client consultant procedures in order to get them into the business to accept you as their coach. And these are basically the script and the guidelines that you should follow. I'll send it to you immediately after this. But what I wanted to do is to review it, and I'm also make this video available that you can go back through it. So with that being said, we start off at the beginning. You can already read some of that. Where we left off at as you were coming in was right here at the create a word play chart. Now that's to each his own, and that's you create like a visual representation of the client's report that overlays page 5 of the disc onto page 2, so you can have them both together. But oftentimes what y'all saw me do is just scroll through 5 and 2, and page 2 is where the bars are, and I'm just gonna have to go backwards and forward. I'll show you.
I was just about to pull up somebody's.
Or you could do that.
Okay.
Let me pull up another somebody's disc. I'm gonna pull up one of my children. Let y'all see this. Okay, y'all see this?
uh-huh.
Okay, this is my son. He's a 9991i. So what we were talking about is that page, what you want to go through. This, of course, is page 2. So when you see, you recognize the biggest gaps, where they are. That's the things that you speak to. He only dropped 10, barely. So this is a more solid person as far as him and his eye. So once you have page 2, they're saying in that other one, in the other description was to go to page 5. They want you to create this and have it already up. But what oftentimes y'all saw me do, just go from 2 to 5, and this is page 5. This is where you creating the wordplay. And now y'all seen me do this when I was talking to you. I go from 2 to 5. Why do you drop? Do you recognize where you are? And my way, I believe in doing it this way, and this is how I would show. It also helps keep the client a little bit more engaged. That they're viewing this and seeing you go through it. Now, if they complain and say, hey, it's making me dizzy, then you might need to have just 2 pages where you can flip it. But this is really the only other way that you're gonna be able to do it. You follow me? So now, and I think also in the beginning, it asks you to go to page 18 and 19. So And this is your first, you see the gap, you see they bars, then you go to page 18 and 19, which is right here, which this is preferred training and learning style. So you're gonna get as much information gathered about the client before you actually engage and talk to them. How you prefer to share knowledge or teach. This is how they like to share and how they like to teach. So you need to know this. Sincere participation with others as a co-learner or co-facilitator. So if you engaging with them, if that's an engaging person, what it sounds like, you want to be just as engaging with them. You want to involve them, like, hey, Azariah, how you doing today? You just gonna have to pull that out and speak to them from this, as far as how they prefer to share knowledge or them teach. You almost basically got to mirror this, but understand it. I'm not saying you need to just absolutely break them down. You need to have the bare basics of understanding this person, which there's another training that I'm gonna show you that has, and the paper to go with it, that shows the characteristics or traits, tendencies, of a high D, of a high I, and so on and so on. Where that's why I explain it. That's your Iron Man, that's your Thor, that's your Incredible Hulk, and that's your Captain America. The pages that you're going to receive explains it from the pilot, the stewardess, the groundkeeper, and air traffic control. That's the person sitting up there making all the decisions and making sure everything moves smoothly. So however way you want to explain it is going to be best to get them to understand it. I choose Marvel because everybody's universal with that. So once you've gotten a little rundown of, how they now this is how they prefer to receive knowledge. So now how do you talk to them? How you going to be, and this is what they're looking to hear from you, as well as if this person is a high I, then you have to bring some energy and enthusiasm, be enthusiastic in order to make that connection. Follow me? So response to extrinsic motivations such as praise and encouragement. That's what they respond to. So you got to be like, man, thank you so much for having this call with me. I see that as they've given you some more information about them, like if they're a business owner, wow, that's great that you do that. That's selfless. You know what I'm saying? Showing them some praise, some genuine praise to help them get there. Then you go to from that page 19. Things to do to effectively communicate with Azariah. A little bit more in depth. Use the conversation to direct you back to the topic or issues at hand. Don't get too far off track. So don't go too far off on a tangent with this person. Keep it subject matter. Conversation connected to the subject. If you get far off, bring them back. Reasons why it's saying that? Because he's such a high I, he can get lost and both of y'all conversation, and he's taking you further and further away from the actual topic because their mind is racing and they think, at such a speedy rate and have ideas. Now you talking about, I don't know, chickens, and you like, wait a minute, I'm trying to help you. And that's part of the problem because they lack, I won't say lack, they're challenged in the beginning with this focus because they're not aware of it yet, that they lack that focus. And this is also possibly why some of their goals and dreams are getting away from them because they don't stay right here and then move. They go here, 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 and here, and wonder why they haven't progressed. And that's where you come in. And so once you've done enough study on this, looking at them, and the more I can just assure you, it's not a real challenge because the more we go through these, the more we understand the D, the I, the S, their characteristics, their the traits, the tendencies. This becomes like, oh yeah, as soon as you go here and you say, oh, this is a high I, you already know how to present to them without necessarily sometimes going to page 18, 19. We just showing them what is needed or how to help them become better at them and be more self-aware, just between 2 and 5. This is what you're going to deal with the most. You follow me? Now, as you get more in depth with them, you know, you can show where they lean, and you can see that how much they are extrovert versus introvert. No, he tells you everything that's going on with him, every up, every down. He's not as much of a team player or supporter. He has the ability, but not as much. But he's more outwardly spoken. He's not about the task, not task driven. And he's about the people. He loves interacting. He gets his energy from being around people. The quarantine he was bumping his head. I mean, just to tell you, my son, he just couldn't sit still. It was like, it'll be all right. No, I'm going to go here. I'm like, okay, you got to wear your mask, and him being of age. So I couldn't stop him. But it's like, look, you can't bring back no stuff. So I'm going to hose you down with alcohol every time you come back in the house. But just getting this understanding of the person, and as you go through it with them, you know, as your sessions progress. But let's go back, because this is just a 30-minute consultation that you're having with the person. So, where's my page? Okay. So this is just being 30 minutes. Use the transparency. That's okay. If you want to go that in depth, that's fine. The wordplay chart is to be used during steps number 8 when introducing wordplay. Okay. So now what they recommended is what I did. We recommend that you create a note-taking document to keep a record of each client's background. I have a book, and in this book, I have everybody who I've talked to, their DISC assessment, the D to I to S to C. I have their numbers in there. I have the numbers that, where is it? Oh, I have all of these numbers. Sorry. Each person, what I've written down, you could do it this way or come up with your own. I have the D, and I have their numbers. I got that for Ebony. I got that for Darrell. I got that for Rochelle. I have their D, and I have the numbers next to it for each one. And then next to each one of those numbers, I also have the word that is most highlighted with them. So, what was his number? Well, let's just look at the I. It was 99, 91. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 99. So I have high I have next to it persuasive, gregarious, inspiring. I have that all at the top. The middle, I got the first word is persuasive. That's the first word they hit with. Then the next word I have written next to it is gregarious, and then I have inspiring. I have all three of these, boom, 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 in that order. And then at 91, I'm down here. I have inspiring. What do they hit on? Inspiring, persuasive, and enthusiastic. I have those words right up under the first three words as well. So I can see, let's say going back to, I don't have his, but like Ebony, you don't mind if I use yours? I have D. She's a high D, 67, 56. I wrote high D next to it. And then I wrote determined, daring, competitive. Below it, for her 56, where it dropped to, I have enthusiastic. I'm sorry. I have competitive, responsible, and inquisitive. You follow me? And everybody, y'all remember how to read this. Like if it starts at, we don't start at the bottom. We start one from here. Reserve, you know, whatever the number is that we're trying to get to on their chart. If they're, like I said, my son 99. Let's look at his D, 5642. So he's 56. And over time, I'll just let you know. You'll know where exactly where 50 is. You know, we're right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, responsible. He moves to 56, so basically 60. So he's competitive. He can be sometimes determined and responsible and inquisitive. So he's more around in here, responsible, competitive, and inquisitive as far as his with the 56. And the other number was what, 5642? 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's solidly really at that 40. But he may have a tendency yet still to lean more towards responsible, inquisitive, conservative, and responsible. You'll find out as the more you talk when his adaptive kicks in and why he comes down and doesn't stay in the responsible or competitive, which of course has to do with the natural or the adaptive of how he's being observed or how he sees himself, and he's catching himself, and so he's coming down, digressing, when his power is at being 56. Like some of y'all, or you're going to come across some people's stuff and it may say 56, 56. They solid right there. They don't care how a person, they don't get nervous and change because somebody's looking at them. You know what I'm saying? And they may be fully aware of themselves and they ain't changing that. They're going to stay right there at 56 or some, you know, wherever the number is. They're more solid with that. So there's less of a need to speak to it because they're good. It's the gaps we speak into. Make them aware of why they're coming down or why they're going up. Some people do that as well. We got to figure that out. But this is the biggest gap. This is the one that affects all their powers. Because this one, what's causing this? And when we're under stress, as it even speaks, you're not you. You're not the most authentic you. So, you know, how is that affecting you? And that's what we want to try to remove from the person. Now let me go to, let me get back to the one sharing screen.
So I got a question for you.
With it.
Well, not so much a question, but just can you speak to when they adapt up? Because, you know, that was something that I had never seen before until we had looked at that one assessment.
Okay, adapting up is that person, they are aware of themselves, and for whatever possible stressful reason, to impress somebody or they just kick it up a notch. And remember, a lot of this has to do with their environment. Who are they? If this has to do with a problem, and they're aware of people around them. Most people adapt up because that awareness of themselves, or they're trying to impress somebody. And so what are they doing it for? Is really the reason, is really the question. Why are they going up? Do they notice that they're going up? What is the situation? And then you got to wonder as well, will they really truthfully tell you why they doing it? Because it could be to try to get ahead. You know, you chilling, talking, and I'm reason I'm telling you this because I have somebody in mind who's every one of their charts, it was a resident, all their stuff went up. It was all higher. And I was like, okay, why they adapting up? Then finding out what was their goals, some of the things they were wanting to accomplish, you know, work-wise and what they was trying to do. So to the right people, they were going up because all these, the DISC, all this stuff is going to involve a person, people like the D, how you solve problems. It can be to items or things. Yeah, I got to fix the tire. That's easy. But when it comes to how you deal with people, how are they going to deal with people as far as, you know, solving that problem? How do they interact with people, share their emotions and their ideas? The S, how do they show support and stabilize? You know, how are they doing this? These are things you can observe and see in each person. It's basically, excuse me, it's their tale. They're telling you, you know, this is what they prefer to do. From people crossing their arms. I mean, there's so many different tricks and to the trade body language. If you're getting to see them, observe them, but when you're doing it as far as this as a Zoom consultation, we're getting them to be aware And that's the power in it when they're going, oh, yeah, I do that every time such and such, tell me the scenario. How do you know when this happened? The more questions you get, the more information you get, the more they get to see who they are and how they respond and how they react, their tendencies. They'll start being able to tell you their natural versus their adaptive. And that's when they're going to be more enthused to keep you on because you brought so much to their attention. Plus, you have this information that shows that you can talk to them who they are. Like Darrell said earlier, like, man, I thought this dude was a wizard. No, I studied. That's all it was. And then recognizing him as a high S and a high C, I'm a high S and high C. So it was like, I'm talking to my brother. Some of the same stuff that affects you. Not everything is exact, but if it's 10 categories, of things that affect you or how they might affect you or how you might think, I can speak to 7 of them. And Darrell gonna be like, dude, we on the same page. Them other 3, that's cool. But 7 out of 10? So when you speaking to that person from that position, I've spoken to somebody all the way to from Flint to New Jersey and spoke to them, and they were high eye. And this kid was amazed. He was like, oh my God, how do you know me? It's almost like you're thinking, you say it before I think it. How are you doing that? Man, I hope I'm working with you. You're just such a great person. I fed off this energy and was like, man, how you doing? Such and such. Yeah, man, I knew who he was. And it spoke so much truth to him. And he's a high eye. He gave me everything. He gave me so much information. It was like, dude, it's almost, I almost don't want to take your money. Because it's like how you gave me so much information to help him. Well, that's just my own pet peeve. That's my motivator speaking. But listen, because I took the money. But anyway, when you in a business, okay, and you are in a business to be amazing to your clients and show them their superpower and how you have become so much more aware of your own that you're able to speak to DISC, whoever they may be. Now, them turning away from you, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because if you were impactful and the things that you brought to their attention, they're going to remember you. And the script talks about, follow through, follow up, and things like that that we want you to do when you're talking to the client. Because if you have a high if you have a high C, he's going to think about this. He or she is going to think about this before they pull the trigger. They may not just immediately jump right out and say, yeah, a high D, high I, they're going to be sold pretty quickly. If they're in the decision of their money and they got those things laid out, they can come a lot quicker. The S and the C, because of their tendencies in nature, they're slower. They move methodic is what we're taught to, to speak to the person. Say they move methodic. They move with caution as they take their steps. They not immediately jump out there, people. The D, the I, the D will be more so to take that type of risk. They'll try it. They want to go fast. That's the D and the I. If they see the goal, let's get there tomorrow. I don't want it to be 20 years or 10 years. Go ahead, Ebony. Unmute yourself.
No, I was just agreeing.
Oh, you just like, amen. Yeah. So with knowing that, as far as yourself or you speaking to this person, but your goal as well as a coach is to help remove or bring clarity as well as to be that guide. So and coaching them. So for instance, like with Ebony wants to move fast. So she's challenged with some of the C qualities or tendencies. So what my job is, and it's like, it works out perfectly, I'm a high C. So I'm going to throw things in her way that she has to look at before we make this move, as well as depending on, you may be talking to somebody single, you may be talking to somebody married. Okay, let's do a disassessment of them. Let's see what's around them. So, okay, this is in your husband. He's a C. Oh, you need to tap into that. You need to do that. No differently if he was coming to me, then it's like, oh, you want to get there, but you take so long, but your wife or your husband is a high D. You need to tap into that. And let's take these risks. Let's go ahead and move. Let's be a little bit more secure. You don't have the rest of your life. You know, you don't have, oh, I got all my life to do. No, there's some timing to this. So let's get there, especially with when you start talking to the client, whatever conditions or other things that they're facing or challenges. So you want to ask as many questions. So we're going to move on. So I told you that's what I do as far as writing these goals down. I have a chart of everybody. I got their background, their goals, their job, some of their history. And I definitely recommend that you do it and you keep it sacred, because you're going to gain more clients and you keeping up with everybody's everything. No, sometimes I'm like, you know, I think okay, let me go back, let me look, and then it's like, oh yeah, I was right. But you still want to have it at your disposal, have it right in front of you when you're pulling out, when you're going to talk to client, have those things together, everything that they're going to talk to you about, have it there, have a little, you know, a jot down of their history, their background, the things they start trying to tell you, that they start, you know, speaking to you about. Then we move to in season, where I'm working on making the changes to make this more to the power in you coaching. Mine says origin story, because we trying to figure out the origin of this person, how they got there. So during the call, establish why your client is on the call. That's, again, I followed that script. Some of y'all didn't know it, but this was the script I was following. Well, why you on this call? What are your intentions? What do you intend to do with it? I just often just went right straight to the goal. What are the goals you currently working on? You know, what did you, you know, it says, what do you hope to get from taking the assessment? I'm also asked the question of, what did you think when you were taking the assessment? When you saw the colored bars, what did you think what this was? You know, and they like, I didn't know, but I was curious. I read some things. You know, it depends on the person. A high C and a high S, they gonna read the boy. I read my disc assessment all the way through from front to back, and still was like, okay, but what does it all mean? How do I apply this? What is this trying to tell me? And so once he started speaking to me, it was like, dang, okay, yeah, that's what I saw, but now the way you explained it, now I know. So let's move. How do you, so you're gonna come up with certain questions and things, but these are the questions they're asking you, that I think you should stick to that. And the more, you know, you do it, you'll come up with your own things. But we ask a personal relationship, professional team, how do you intend to use this tool? How do you intend to use you becoming more self-aware? That's what I've thrown in there, because that's all what it's about. So once you're more aware of yourself and your tendencies, how are you going to use that knowledge? How are you going to use that power? And they may say, I don't know. That's what I'm coming to you for. Okay, that's fine. What are some goals that you're working on? You know, what do you have that you've been thinking to try to do? Is that the business? Is that you know, you want to write a book? Is that you want to put up a pagoda in the backyard? I don't know. What is the goals and what's the challenges? What's keeping you from doing it? That's where we ask these questions and they start talking about it. Now, make their goals tangible. At first, I was like, how am I make that tangible? What does that mean? Show how the client's goals can be established by briefly reviewing the section in page 3. Let's go back to page 3. Am I going too fast? Everybody good? Okay. So page 3 is the cream of it. In my opinion, that's this page right here. So you just want to briefly bring them through this. You don't have to read the full paragraph. It depends. A high C, he gonna want to hear it all. But the keys in this is the self-awareness, and where they're saying how to make it tangible. And this is where in this first sentence, the intermatrix, this assessment shows that the most successful people share the common trait of self-awareness. They recognize the situations that will make them successful, and this makes it easy for them to find ways of achieving objectives that fit their behavior. Does it seem strange to you, just to try to bring this even more into more clarity to this, it's like, why is Oprah so successful? Why is Jeff Bezos so successful? Why is some of these people that we know, Denzel Washington's and, Kerry White's or whoever, why are they so successful? Why does it seem, especially those in the business sector, that they just keep finding money or they find these opportunities? Why is it that they keep doing it? Now, you don't see Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, talking about, you know what, I'm finna train and play basketball, and I'm finna go to the NBA. He's so successful with everything else. Why not? He know he limited. He know that's not his ability. He know that's not his strong suit. He knows he's not athletic. He might own a team, but he ain't even concentrating on that because he know that ain't for me. I don't need to own no team. That's not my strong suit. I don't need to try. I ain't never aspired to want to play basketball. So he not gonna go to that. You follow me? And there, Oprah billionaire. She don't own a basketball team. She's like, ooh, I do like acting because I've always been in front of the camera. That's as far as we've seen her strong suit. I don't even know. Oprah hasn't even written a book. To my understanding, it's a biography. It's not, no, she got more novels and she trying to compete with old girl who wrote the Harry Potter book. She know her lane. She ain't writing fictional. So why she's successful? Because she know I only do this and this. She retired from TV in order to start her own TV thing. That was her success. Boom. She stayed right there. She know what's for her. That's what they talk about. The common trait of most successful people, they self-aware. They self-aware. You can tell when a person is going through something and they start trying to try other things, they're not aware of themselves, or they're bored with what they're doing, or they're lost. Something happened. Michael Jordan is a good explanation for me, or somebody I can use. He's playing basketball all his life. Boom, boom, boom. 3 championships. His father passes. Jordan says, I'm going to play baseball. Bro, that is not your strong suit. That's not you, homie. You follow what I'm saying? And that's what he ran to, because it was something that he did in his childhood, but it was something that he did not bring to fruition as far as to be an expert in it the way he did basketball. He was total lack of self-awareness, but something abrupt changed him to make him think he should move on. That's something in that area. When that happened, he went from he's adaptive as a D, he went he dropped because of what impacted him, the loss of his dad. So his high D, yeah, he was still daring, but it was like, now you doing something that's not even you. You're no longer authentic. You're not being true. He came back, was rusty for half a season. He took off. He's like, okay, we back on it. Let's get these championships. Let's go. Being authentic. So that's the common trait. That's what this is like, the bread of it, showing this to people that this is how this is going to happen. The more you self-aware and you're not in your own way, this is what's going to make you successful. Give me one more second. So once that's established, let them know you will not review the entire assessment today. Let them know that definitely. Casually explain that you will show them how to reference and use the assessment to become more self-aware. It's a tool. So you're going to show them, and that's why it breaks down right after we do the wordplay and that whole nine. but this is all the setup. Mention you will focus on the areas of the assessment that allow them to identify their superpower. So if they're a high I or a high S, high C, that's the one they're most familiar with. That's their go-to. That's their bread and butter. That's the one that they, you know, you got to hit them there. And grow more conscious of how they operate and understand others in their environment. That's what we want to focus on. That biggest one, that biggest superpower. And then you're going to share a quick background on the research of the assessment. 1928, there's actually a movie out. He invented the lie detector. He also came up with the woman, the character Wonder Woman. And then we get right to now, and that's all in the beginning of the pages. That's on the very first page of, if y'all familiar with it, let me see, do it again. Yeah, okay. That's right here. Dr. William Marston, Behavior Dimension. Marston's research uncovered 4 quadrants of behavior, which help to understand a person's behavior preference. Then you explain that to him. He did this in 1928. He is responsible for the lie detector test. He is the inventor of the lie detector test. He is also the inventor of Wonder Woman. And you know what was her favorite tool that everybody should know? That lasso that made you tell the truth. So he was fascinated by human behavior, and through his research, he broke down people really are only in 4 quadrants. We're not that complex. As much as what, you don't know me? Yeah, I do. Yes, I do. I see you right here. If you take this, you can see that person. And when we add the motivators to it, they're gonna lose their mind. Like, how you know me better than my mama. I don't even tell my mama some of this stuff I be thinking. That's the power of this, that it will help you as far as gathering this information. So let's get back into that share screen. Okay, y'all, we may not get through all of this, but I'm gonna give you as much of this as possible. Now 4 is the part that you want to bring them to that aha moment of recognizing somebody else. And this is explain the 4 superpower preferences. So you're going to explain it. You're going to explain the D, the I, the S, the C, which is the how you how. Let me pull that up real quick. Get back to it. Screen here. And I want y'all to remember this. Follow your script. Follow it. You may not know Darrell laugh. Because in the beginning, I was kept telling everybody, follow your script. When we come next week class, I'm gonna be like, yo, hey, sell Darrell. Talk to Darrell. You trying to gain Darrell as a client, or Ebony, you trying to gain Rochelle as a client. Rochelle, I need you to be you. We can pull up yours, or somebody else's, probably maybe pull up yours. And I need you to gain them as a client. And they start going off the top of their brain with what they remember from when I did it with them, or, you know, just some of the information. And it's like they all over the place. They look unprofessional, don't look like they know what they supposed to be doing. It's like, you know, and it'll embarrass you, which is good, because it's only to help you grow to understanding, trust, and follow the script. Put it right next to you, put it in front of you, talking to them. Yeah. Oh, for real? Why do you such and such? They don't know what you're looking at. Don't be ashamed of that. I still refer to mine and look at it. Every new client, I have it at least somewhere near, but I've already did the homework to where I may not have necessarily that script up, but I've done that work. I put the D to I to S. I've made, okay, he does this. He's a high I. I done studied the high I. Okay, boom. Now, what the script? And this is the thing. This is the killer. If I've sent you the email, this gonna trip you out. This gonna help y'all so much. Oh my God. Look at this. Okay. This is me sharing this. We're probably gonna end right here. But this is, y'all see the chart, right? Okay, good. When I'm talking to you, you don't have to see this. I don't have to share this screen. I can pull the chart up and literally be talking to you, move the Zoom person, you know, so you can stay more engaging. I can put this at the top of the screen. Move, you know, because you can move the and that's probably why y'all been seeing me looking over to the side, because I'm looking at y'all instead of the camera. But it's because I got y'all pictures over to the side. But check this out. Oh, it won't stay. Dang it. Acting brand new on. Okay, there it is. But if I put this up here at the top, right? Now I'm looking more at y'all right in the eyes, right? My script is just below me, but y'all see the script. But as soon as I hit that button that I'm not sharing that script, I can be talking to you and scrolling through here until you talk through this whole thing and still be looking at you and be at, oh, establish your client call. Why are you on this call? Y'all following what I'm saying? I can have it right here below me. It doesn't, I don't even have to have it in the paperwork, but if that's the only way you can do it, that's fine. But let me, as soon as I stop sharing, okay, boom, I still see y'all. Y'all still see me. My script is right below y'all. I'm still looking at you. How you doing today? Everything's okay? Oh, that's great. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get right into this, establish this call and, you know, yada, 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 and all that type of stuff. I already done did my work in the beginning. Now, what do you hope to get from this, from taking this assessment? I'm reading the line for line. They're going to answer some questions. Oh, really? Okay. How do you intend to use this tool? Professional, relationship, you know, what do you want to try to accomplish? They like, oh, what goals are you currently working towards? I'm reading the script and still engaged with you. So when Darrell, when we first was doing it, I had it to the side of the paper. So I'm like, you know, but nonetheless, I didn't think to do it like this at the time, but I'm like, this gonna make you look even more professional. And you can break it off when you want to and go into other analogies as far as using words. You know, show them the client. Okay, we're gonna go to page 3. That's what I'm gonna share. Give me 1 second. I'm moving some things around. Boom, 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 boom. Show them the focus. Okay, William Marston began in 1928 he was a behavior psychologist, Dr. William Marston, inventor of the lie. And if you know you're talking to an eye, you bring him that eye. This dude invented the lie detector test. I mean, that's crazy. You know how they got to wrap that around you and then they can tell, put it on your finger. Then he created Wonder Woman. So he got the lasso on, bring it on the woman, boom, and make you tell, this is what this dude created. And this is how I'm going to help you with his tool. They like, oh, I didn't know Wonder Woman. Oh my, they're high eye. They love that energy and what you bringing. You the D, they may not give them some brief stuff. Listen, this is what the dude did. They do like the facts. Why we doing this? What's his purposes? Boom, cut off all that fat. Give me the meat. But it's right here under you. Then explain it. Now the sharing is those you know, you got their assessment up there, and that's what you want to explain. So you explain the D, the I, the S, the C. This is number 4, and then you get to, can you identify anyone in your life who is a high D? Once you explain that D, the I briefly, the S briefly, the C, explain that D. You know anybody who's daring? Know anybody who's, you know, very determined, take charge, competitive? Which is also going to be in that other script that I'm going to send y'all. What I know D has it, where it's going to show you the pilot, you know, the pilot, the groundskeeper, the stewardess. So when you recognize that high D, and it's going to speak in there about some of the characteristics that they show, being very a self-starter, pioneer, moving quick. It's going to explain some of those things in there as far as the general of them. You can do some more research and get more information or make more association. I use Iron Man, I use Kobe Bryant, I use Michael Jordan. There's a few other people who fit that. So that's what you want to try to have. Get this, use this chart, this script as much as possible when you're talking to them. And the more you repetitively do it, that's what's going to make you look like the expert. That's what's going to make it look flawless. And there's more. We stopped at 4. We got 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I'll get you into more how to show them to bring the gap in, to show them the gap, how to bridge the gap, help them be more self-aware, and then smoothly move right into, so when you want to start. This was that 30-minute consultation. I went over a lot of information. I'm sorry, with us. We went over a lot of information to try to get y'all more comfortable with it, to walk through it. But when the script is right there in front of you, and it's more about them, letting them speak, tell you these things, so you can be writing this information down, gathering the information. And when you show them within their chart what you've already studied, you bridge that gap. They sitting at your table like, I want more. I want more. What do you charge? Because you just helped me in 30 minutes that I've been struggling with some stuff almost all my life. And it points it out. Now me, I'm a giver. So I love giving the information and the knowledge and to the detail. It can be sometimes too much, but I'm basically how I'm wired. I love to give the information. So I give you more than what some people might pay for. They will absolutely cut it off. Like, okay, it's say 12:09. All right, y'all, so wrap up. We got to go. And you out of there. And that's cool. But hopefully they're giving you enough information and thought. That's fine. And time is money. I don't always operate like that. Some of y'all know. I haven't been on the phone 11, 12 o'clock. Because especially once I feel it, now I can speak to y'all this way. Even my mentor said, once that Holy Spirit hit on top of this tool that you know, whoo, I am not trying to be no prophet, but it has made me so much sharper to understanding or feeling that vibration. And I'll start saying things to this person like that. I just was talking about this. That ain't me. That I know is nothing but God. I know it's the Holy Spirit, but it'll move through you. So when you add that on top of it, you have this skill. I'm sorry. And then the Holy Spirit comes on top of that. It's a whole nother ballpark. It's a whole nother ballpark. It's another game that it takes you to a whole nother level, and being able to present and also connect with that client to help them get where they're trying to go. And if they trust the process, I mean, that's partially why they came to you. It was something. Now, once they hear this information and it's beneficial to them, it's only going to help them grow. That's all it's going to do. Because you in the growing business, you know what I'm saying? You in the shepherding business. You're trying to help people become the best version of themselves, to be authentic and unapologetic. That's why I want y'all to remember that, to tell the person, whoever it is, you want them to be authentic and unapologetic. Man, you need to stop acting the way you be acting. Sometimes I'm gonna be you. Be the best version of you. Don't be no drag and trying to hurt nobody, but be the best you. Life is short. Got everybody running around here trying to conform to other people's ideas and what they think of them. No, what do you want to do? What is your goals? How you want to get there? There's enough room for you at the top. The 1%er group is very big. It's so much room. But most of us are not in the 1% group because we think it's not enough room. So we're thinking with these limitations. We thinking with all this lack and not realizing the 1% room is the sky, literally. It's literally the sky, and it's vast, it's big. So don't limit yourself. We're trying to take the limiters off people's thinking. That's the business I'm into, trying to take the limits off people's thinking and help them get to the best place that they want to try to get to. And if you going at this situation, I learned this also from that book, which most of y'all have given that assignment to Think and Grow Rich. It's not about gaining money. It's about gaining the richness of from the disappointments or from the setbacks or from, failure, gaining the riches from it. And one part of reading that, it's all about recognizing that and being able to share that, because you have a gift, and don't stop moving forward with that gift that you have, because that gift is going to spread and benefit so many other people than just yourself. When you keep an idea back, when you keep a power back, when you keep that back because you hesitant or you don't know, okay, let's get over that part. But those obstacles of feelings are only there to keep you from actually living out God's promises. So you would be a truth that it works, that he's alive, that he's real when you operate in your gift. And the more you do that, all the other stuff starts coming towards you. Life starts presenting itself. You follow what I'm saying? The benefits of it. And I think that's what everybody deserves. And so when you coming at people with that genuine, nurturing, want to help you, yeah, do that. But also make sure you get compensated for, because this is some work. It's a skill. It's very much a skill. And this is, like I said, this is the inside of it. So we're gonna wrap up. Any questions? Any comments? Y'all can all unmute yourselves. Don't speak at once.
I was just gonna say, it's been refreshing to get back in here.
Okay, that's what's up.
Been real refreshing. But yeah, I was gonna say, one thing that you done helped me with today. I don't know if you remember. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, the last session I was in. You was telling me about figuring out how to incorporate investing with the DIS assessment.
Mm-hmm.
You just started like basically helping me to highlight that. So I had to jot down some notes, because I'm like, that right there intertwines that for me. So I appreciate that.
Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, I'm let me know how you exactly going about doing it, because you can incorporate so much in this assessment. From, I just was working out my plan, and I got the conflict resolution, how to help teachers recognize the student, just I'm looking more into the school stuff, and I'm seeing how it connects, even that much more. You can connect this to every facet of business to help a person, not just life coaching.
Because I was going to say, with me, it was like, after, I also need you to send me the stuff for the motivators again, because I didn't get it all. I was
Okay.
going through my emails and stuff. I ain't got it all, so I need you to send me some of the stuff.
Okay, got that.
I was going to say, but tying the DIS and the motivators together,
Mm-hmm.
that right there, it highlights, like, once you start to look at that, it'll tell you, like, what's the best, let me see how I say it, the best type of way for, like, investing for you. Like, if you was jumping into the stock market,
yeah,
once you start showing me those motivators, I'm like, hold on, that identifies with basically your risk tolerance in the stock market and stuff. So I'm like, now I can tie that in with your risk tolerance with being an investor. So,
and if you're showing people how to invest, you can connect that with, okay, they need to be more conservative, so find them conservative stocks.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, point them towards conservative stocks,
Yeah, like the blue chip stocks and things like that.
Exactly. Coca-Cola, the things that's been around for years that they ain't gonna lose nothing in. Yeah, that makes so much sense. You can see that. Like, I need you to take this assessment, know what I'm dealing with, because you could be trying to push them. Hey, this is new company coming up. I need you to dump $2,000 into this company because it's gonna turn around. But you dealing with a high S, a high C, and be like, nah, bro, nah, I don't know about that. I got to do some research myself. You got to prove it to me.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the one thing that I seen was I don't know if you paid attention to the market, but how everything started to drop past this past week. A
Yeah,
lot of people was like, man, I don't think I could do this, and I'm like, it's nothing. Like the only thing you do is buy more at this point. Why is you pulling your money out when you done lost all your gains? You
yeah.
only got what you're investing now, so you just gonna break even. That don't make sense.
Right. Stay in it. It ain't bottoming out. And that's where the patience and the tolerance and all that, seeing the risk
Mhm.
factor of the person. You own to something, dude. you
I
own to something.
appreciate you. You helped me find it. You
You
helped me.
own to something. And that's what we're here for. Any other questions before we get down? Y'all good? Next week we gonna finish this up. I'm gonna make sure you review it. Uh, I have some other work to send you guys. That's the additions to the class. Just want to make sure we establishing all of that. Everybody, this is the class. It may be some more additions that's joining, and I'm gonna have everybody on the same page with the
Okay.
information that I have. Making and I guess we might pull back from that because I did ask Ebony and a few others and Joe to bring me somebody who they wanted to practice on. Was gonna pull up their assessment, but hoping that you record your Zoom consultation with them. But first, because Joe, he's been going through it, me training him. So we're gonna hold off on that one. But first, we're gonna get more into this studying it and going down through it. Then it's like, okay, now let's put it to work. Let's talk to somebody and let's bring them in. You record them, and we'll see what we did. If you get the business from them, fantastic. Let's keep it moving, and I'll help you guide you through that. So that's a little bit Ebony. Where I was like, no, you kind of jumped the gun. Hold on, let me pull you through. So now we can move on pace. But you got them already in waiting. We'll talk a little bit more about that, how you want to go about it. Um, but other than that, we I think we good. This was good.
Yeah.
All minds clear. All right, we'll talk.
Thank you.
Y'all, absolutely. Once this renders, I'll make this available for you guys on the YouTube. I'll send it to you as a invite so you'll be able to go through it, look at it again, as well as just make those connections. And I'm gonna send everybody again the information